This year's Olympia, top 6 this year.
Hi guys, welcome back with the Cali Pro 2024 complete lineup result of 23 contestants. So the oldest contestant in the lineup, 51 years old, Rafael the Real, did not finish in the top 15. Ray Short was also unable to crack top 15 in his first show of the season. As well as 44 years old Paul Hindson was also outside the top 15. Nathan Bandridge, who was at 9th place last year in Cali Pro, this year he did not get any place. 46 years old Toto Jong, originally from Indonesia, has made transition to the men's open division this time. Before he was competing in 212 and classic physique divisions, and this time he did not make to the top 15. Unfortunately, judges did not have Milan Shadik even in the top 15 this time. I still believe he has the potential to do well in the men's open division. He is only 35 years old, he is very shapely and has aesthetically pleasing physique. I hope he takes 1 year off to put on quality size, more mass on his back and bring back his crisp sharp conditioning to get the recognition which he really deserves. All the way from South Korea, In Song-ju has made his transition in men's open division. Last year we saw him in 212 division competing in Moses M Pro with 8th place. So this time Brent Swanson was unable to get a respectful place. He was undeniably very dominant conditioning wise, but Joseph Palacios, who has made his pro debut in Cali Pro, had better back development compared to Brent. Although both had very wide waist, but Joseph slightly had more mass, which I think gave him edge over Brent. He finished taking 15th place.
I'm about 15 pounds heavier than I was at Tampa in August.
Brady King has arrived at 14th place. He has put on some size this year, especially his legs are improved, but I think conditioning wise he was better last year. Eddie Brocamontes has gained a lot of size in recent years, but I think back in the day he had better arms and shoulders definition, better muscle separation there. He was aiming to win Cali Pro this year, but he had to settle for 13th place only.
I'm going to try to make history by being the only person by winning the California Pro as an amateur and winning the California Pro as a pro. So you guys watch out.
This time Anoen was working with coach Milos Archiv and he has brought a decent package on Cali Pro stage. He's been competing as a pro bodybuilder since 2012 and he never qualified for Mr. Olympia. This time in Cali Pro he finished taking 12th place. Samuel Praise from Australia has made a comeback on stage. I think last time we saw him in 2019 on a classic. In Cali Pro 2024 he has brought his best look from conditioning standpoint so far. He's 6 feet 1 inch tall and this time he was at 270 pounds on stage. Arguably he was one of the most shredded contestants in the lineup and he's also very aesthetically pleasing, but he needs little more size to be a real threat in pro shows. And he's just 32 years old, so he has plenty of time to put on quality mass. Dorian Haywood has definitely brought a sharper package compared to his last show New York Pro, but it did not help him much as Justin, Angel, Quinton and Nick Walker, who did beat him last weekend, were not competing in Cali Pro, which led him to move up from 13th place to 10th place this time. We saw Jangmin Lee in Toronto Pro taking 7th place last year. This year he has put on some prominent size on his frame and he looks really impressive, especially in side chest shot. Although his back is still very weak and his conditioning was better last year, but hopefully we will see an improved package in his next show, which is Toronto Pro in 2 weeks. The German sensation Tim Budesheim had to settle for 8th place, which is disappointing result for fans and for him as well. He did beat 7th place finisher Joseph and runner-up of the show Amo Moragic last week in New York Pro, and I think he could be higher than 8th place in Cali Pro. During the prejudging, Tim believed he made a mistake while posing, which probably dropped him down to the 8th place. Personally, I still complain his midsection, it was not completely flat and he does not have really deep abs development. And recently in a podcast, Milos Sarcev was explaining the same point as well.
When you go home and you look at this, right? Analyze. You be your judge and analyze. You were losing the stomach here many times, okay?
Other than that, he's extremely impressive. He has enough size, supreme conditioning, and insane vascularity. I hope team will choose a right show for him which can ultimately let him qualifying to the Mr. Olympia. He's still in USA and he's planning to compete in Tampa Pro. The rising star from Czech Republic, Josef Kviton, has managed to move up from 11th place to 7th place this time. He was one of the most conditioned contestants on stage with insanely well-built delts, which is main standout body part of Josef. One of the oldest contestants in the lineup, 45 years old, Song-chul Lee from South Korea, has brought a slightly sharper package under the supervision of his new coach, Milos Sarcev. Before he was working with Neil Hill. He is very impressive in front and side shots, especially he looks very astonishing in most muscular shots, but in the back shots he was even losing from 7th place finisher Josef Kviton and 8th place finisher Tim Budesheim. Spanish rising star Pablo Lopez is very strong in front and side shots. He has humongous deltoids, cross-striated chest, small waist, very flat midsection, and his quads are impressive as well. But he needs more back development. He's not as impressive in back shots as he is in other shots, but finishing at 5th place out of 23 contestants is definitely a great result for 29 years old Pablo. Stuart Sutherland was out of top 4 in the prejudging, but in the finals, judges had him finishing at 4th place. He believes it was his best look up to this point and he was arguably harder and drier. But still he could not sway the judges this time as they had him behind Christian Wolski and Amir Morojic, which he already beat them in New York Pro. And honestly, to me, the results of Cali Pro are very confusing. And I hate to give negative feedback, but as a viewer I would say it was the least impressive show this year so far management wise. My favorite athlete in the lineup, Christian Wolski, has managed to arrive at 3rd place, which is so far the highest placing for him. I personally had him at 2nd place as he has better structure, flow, shape and aesthetics compared to Amir. Yes, undeniably Amir was much sharper and harder than Christian, but Christian conditioning was impressive as well. And I think he was more proportional and he had less weak spots than Amir. I hope he keeps competing this year until he qualifies to the Mr. Olympia. Amir Morojic has brought drastically an improved physique from conditioning standpoint. He was probably the most conditioned contestant on stage, very dry and hard, and I think the back double bicep shot is the most impressive shot of him. And moving up from 9th place in New York Pro to solid 2nd place in Cali Pro is a great achievement for 25 years old Amir. So Tonio Burton has finally managed to qualify for 2024 Mr. Olympia by winning Cali Pro, which was his 3rd attempt this year. I think he well deserved to be the last man standing as he was very balanced, very aesthetically pleasing, his conditioning was on point and he was not missing anything. Just he needs to bring more size in order to be more competitive in this year's Olympia lineup, as he thinks he has solid chance to be top 6 in Olympia this year.
This year's Olympia, top 6 this year.
So huge congratulations to Tonio and his coach for winning Cali Pro 2024. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for upcoming updates.